Assalamu alaikum. This lecture is on user administration and uh, privileges. User privileges. User administration means how to administer users, how to create users and give them passwords and manage the users. And you can also remove the users. Then after you do that, also you can assign them some privileges. You can do this in graphical user interface, or you can do it in command line. I will start with graphical user interface, where you need to log in as a system administrator, I mean database administrator. The database administrator in Oracle, for example, is system, the user system. This user is created automatically when you install this application of Oracle, and the password is the password that you have given during the installation process. So for example, I have created this password as 123456 during the installation. Then once you log in, then you will see these four icons. We have been using this SQL to do the SQL commands, where we can actually use also to create users, of course, and administer users. But you can also in graphical user interface you can use administration, and the administration we have storage, memory, database users, monitor, and about database. We will use database users. This is where we can administer users, can create users, and we can remove them. We can edit, alter them. For example, I have this user here called the student. I can click on this user and then can change the password, and I can also decide on the password expiry on a specific date automatically. Here is given unlock account, but if you would like to lock the account, you can lock it from here. If you lock the account, you cannot this account cannot log in, and then it will give you this error message that this account is unable to log in. Here is privileges. We will do them in command line in a minute. But now, if you would like to, these are not given, by the way, by default. You have to. It will be giving you like this. So only connect and resource. If you would like to give this user all the privileges, you see them here listed. All the privileges. You can click check all to give them all privileges. And then if you would like to take some of the privileges, like for example, you would like to remove, create, trigger, and sequence and procedure from this user, you can check them, uncheck them, so that you remove this from the user. If you would like to have this user practice database administration task, you can also give DBA here. This means this user would be also able to create users himself. So if I logged in as a student, I can create users and I can administer users as well. So usually DBA is not given to all users. DBA is given to only specific users who are managing the database. And so here I would like to change the password. You don't have to worry about the previous password. Just enter the new password and confirm it here, and then click alter user. So for example, I would like to change this password to 123456, and then confirm it to 123456. Then you can alter the user here, and then it will give you that the user password has been changed, so user altered. You would like to create a new user. So you just click create first, and then it will give you this compulsory text boxes where you need to enter a username. So for example, I would like to enter a username called DB user, database user, DB user, and I would like to create this password as DB123 DB123. Here by default is given this table space and temporary table space, default table space. You don't have to change anything here, or you don't change anything here. You just come here to this part, and again, if you would like to give all these privileges, you can check all. If you would like to remove them, you can uncheck all. This you can remove them one by one, as I told you before. You can give DBA as you like, and then here you can create that user. So this user now is created, and it will be available here, DB user, as part of this of these users. So these are the users that I have here. Let me go back to, if you like to remove a user, of course you can just drop the user from here. You can click drop, and this will actually give you this confirmation message if you really want to drop the user. And also cascade. Cascade means not only drop the user, but also drop everything that the user has created in this database, every table, everything that he created. That means you can drop a user and leave his tables in the database, so the tables will be there. But in cascade means drop everything that belongs to this user. So I don't want to delete this user, so let me cancel. Go back to administration. In administration, I would like you to look here. Here also you can actually change the password. The password for what? For this user who logged in here. And also you can manage the login message if you would like to create a specific message, custom message that you would like to write. For example, welcome to this database system, or good morning, or something like that. Or you can write your message here and apply the change. And here, manage HTTP access. This is basically because by default the user is logged in, and the database is available only from the local server. That means this server is not actually other users or other people in different computers, in different clients. They don't have access to this database. But if you would like to give access to many users across the network, then you can actually click here, available from local server and remote clients, and click apply change. This one will make this database available through the IP address. The IP address, which is every computer has this IP address that you can get through IP config. So for example, this IP address of this computer IP address is 192.168.100.14. So this one, 192.168.100.14, is the IP of this computer. If I consider this computer as a client connecting to my server, then I would like to enter the server IP address, which is 192. Just 1 second, actually is a little bit slow. So here 192.168.100.14 colon 8080 /apex. What is this IP address? This IP address is the IP address of the server that allows the remote access to it. So I would like to write the server IP address and then the port, which is 8080, the port number, and the application that I would like to run on this port, which is Oracle Application Server Apex Application Express Edition. So, and then you click enter. When you click enter, you will actually get connected remotely to the server, not localhost. So this is actually I'm pretending that I am actually a client connecting to this server. So you can actually have this one like that, and then access using the users in that server. Now you're accessing the server, and you can actually try to log in using this server login. So this remote login will allow you to remote access. When you enable it, it will allow you to log in remotely. And this one, it requires the cookies to be enabled. I have to go and enable the cookies so that I can actually be able to connect to this server. But this is generally how you would be able to connect to the server remotely. Let me go back to what is my previous server. Here it is. So here is how you manage the users. As I told you, you go through the administration, create new users, and manage them, give them privileges online, and so on. So what I would like to do is I would like to explain some privileges. So I would like to log out from here and log in as a different user, and I would like to execute some commands, SQL commands pertaining to the privileges. What is privileges? Privileges are some permissions given to privileges are permissions given to the users on the tables in a database server. Privilege is like what? You give a user to select a table, to select from a table that is not his table, but you would like to give him the privileges to select from the table, or to update the table, or to delete. A user can actually perform this this task on a table that he doesn't have. This table should belong to somebody else. Okay. So the user can actually do one of these or all of these commands, and you can also give this row this command grant. So grant is to grant a user some privileges, some or all privileges. And also you can use revoke. Revoke is to take away some or all privileges from the user. So this is generally what about privileges? Permissions to take to give some privileges or take them away. Take them away from the user. So what I'm trying to give here are examples. I would like to give some examples. Let me fix my mic first. I would like to give some examples to grant privileges and revoke privileges from some users. Here I have some examples ready. I would like to copy them and explain them one by one. Okay, so what is the syntax that you do here for granting revoking? This is the syntax. Grant privileges on table name to user name. Let me put these keywords as in capital so that you know what is grant privileges on table name to username. So this is the syntax. Grant is a keyword or is a command. Grant what? Grant a privilege, any privilege. It could be select or it could be update, or it could be more than one privileges. It could be more than one. So here you can have more than one privilege, like here this example. For example, this is one privilege. Grant select on employee to student. Grant the select command or the select privilege on the table name. Table name here is employee. To who? To a user. I have a user called the student. So I would like to give him select. Who am I? I am this user, but I would like to grant this user student a privilege to select from my table, this table called employee. And I can also give him grant select on department to the same student. So here you also repeat this one, but this time is for department table. So here this is another example in which I have more than one privilege. I can give this user select and update separated with comma. You can select update, or you can give select update and also delete. So you are giving him three privileges on which table? On this table called location. I have a table called location to the same user student. Okay, all right. Now this is how to grant the privilege. If you like to revoke this privilege, that means take them away. So you have to execute this command. Let me also put it here as a syntax where it says revoke privilege on table name from, instead of to, you use from this user. you can also, if you like to, if you have given them, for example, 3, I can remove all these and put all, ALL. I can say grant all on location to student instead of having them separate words like that. All means select, update, and delete. Here, revoke all. Revoke all means revoke all privileges. Select, update, and delete from this table. I mean on this table, the table called employee from students. So I would like to remove everything from students regarding the employee table, and I would like to do it here for the department table and location as well. So let me execute this one. Of course, it will give you this message, which is statement processed. So there is no error. It doesn't give you the message that privilege has been granted, but it will actually just give you a statement processed here, unlike the command line. This one also, if you would like to repeat it, this one also, you would like to do that. So now you have given this user select on employee, select on department, and everything on location. You would like to revoke, you can just click, highlight this command also, and execute it like that. Yeah, you're actually revoking all privileges from student on the 3 tables: employee, department, and location. I have this SQL statement that says this SQL statement will grant select, update, and delete. I would say all privileges on all users tables, on all the tables that is here in this user. Every table that I have, it will list a statement. It will list many statements. Every statement on a specific table, because this table name is actually a synonym or a view that brings all the tables that I have on my user. And it will, when I execute this statement will list a lot of different statements, all of them like this: select, grant, select. It will actually select this one from what? From user tables. User tables is a table that contain all my users with their names. So there is a column called table name in this table, user tables. So it will execute this statement like this. It will show grant, select, update, delete. It will say grant, select, update, delete. On table name here, it will provide every table name, a lot of table names, one by one, a line after a line. To student, to only user, that is called the student. From the user tables, here it will also show me this one from all user tables that I have. So for example, if I execute this statement, I will see this. Excuse me. Let me bring 100 records. I have 28 rows in which you will see all the users that I have. Grant, select, update, delete, on. Grant, select, delete, update, on. But here, the difference here comes from what? My tables, that table I have. Every table that I have is been displayed because of this table name. To student is gonna be fixed. It's only one user to student, to student, to student. But it's selecting this table names from what? From user tables. So it gives me all this. So what I need to do is to select the one that I want. Okay. For example, I would like to select to grant, select, update, grant, select, update, and delete on section 3 to students. So I can just highlight this one, highlight it, copy, and then execute it, and then highlight it, and then execute it. statement processed. So go back to the history, execute this statement again, and then again select what you want to do. For example, I would like to grant select, update, delete on zip code to student. You just highlight this one, copy, and then highlight it here, and then execute it. Here it is, and so on. If you like to execute this statement again, and then it will show them all again, and then you highlight the one that you like. This is for grant. If you like to revoke, I have another one which is similar to this one, except that I change this grant with I change this grant with revoke. So here you'll see select, revoke, revoke what? Revoke select, update, delete on table name from. This time you don't use to, you use from student, from user tables. So it's gonna provide all the table names from the user tables, and then concatenate. This is concatenation. It means it's actually going to join or merge this string to this table names, and also execute the rest of the statement here. So if I execute this one, it will give me the revoke statement again, similar to that one, except that this is to revoke. So for example, before I have given privileges select, update, and delete on this section 3. Alright, now section 3, where is it here? Section 3. I would like to remove this or revoke these privileges. Then I would like to execute this statement, highlight, and then execute. So here statement process. That means the privilege that I have given already is gone. So you can actually do one or more. For example, here you can only use grant select on this table to student. So this one will grant only select. Okay, or you can revoke one from this user. So you are taking this privilege from this user, or you can have them two, as I told you, put comma and put update, for example, or 3 delete, or how about all? You can say grant all, ALL, grant all to this user. So this one will grant everything to this user. Grant all, grant, what is going on here? I have a mistake. Grant all on section 3 to this user. So here grant is given, and then revoke. As I told you, you can also use all, revoke all on this from this user. So you are revoking all of them. So you can give privileges one by one, or all of them together, or you can just use all for all T3, select, update, and delete. You can revoke them the same way. So this is generally in brief this description how to create users, how to give them privileges, and how to take privileges from them. Alright, thank you so much.